Hello, everyone. I'm home from work, sort of. I haven't gone in yet. Driving home. Someone was road raging me, which happens a lot. And just, God damn it. Just got out of work, trying to have a peaceful drive home and look at the sunset, and like freaking get road raged. And it always happens. It always happens. They're just freaking, you think, and it got me to thinking of something that I've been meaning to post for a while. Okay. And that's that. Obviously politics, we talk a lot about 45 and everything, and so no surprise, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I've been meaning to make this video for like a month or so. But okay, so we're now in 2016. I always felt that he stole the election, and in fact, I asked Spirit, and they told me that he was a usurper, criminal president. That's the exact words they told me, and I was like, oh, well, that's what I got too. And so they told me, and that was before 2020. They said usurper, criminal president. And then he lost fair and square. He lost in 2020. I know he says that Biden cheated. Biden did not. Biden won. And but then we know absolutely, without a doubt, not one doubt in my body, not one second, did have I ever thought that he won in 2024? Not one moment. I know he stole that election in 2024 with Elon. He even admitted it several times, but mainly when he said, thanks Elon he knows those vote counting computers, tabulators, which is what Spirit told me, that he used Grok, and he just washed away all the early votes that went through the tabulators on election night, and he probably did not even count all the mail-in ballots. That's what I'm thinking. And he doesn't want mail-in ballots this time. Of course, he didn't have the ability to not count the mail-in ballots in 2024. But I do know this, it was locked in. He had the networks. That's the thing. He had Elon wash away Kamala's votes through the tabulators on election night, and then 45 owned the networks. So even though he wasn't president, those are the powers that he used. Anyway, but I wanted to make this video, and that will be proven one day. I don't know if we'll ever prove that his, these fake attempts on his life are real. They'll never, that they're fake. We'll never have that completely proven ever, because he didn't provide evidence, body evidence. You see what I mean? And so we'll never know. But okay, topic. Here's what I wanted to say. He stole the first one, in my opinion. Second one, absolutely stole the second election. Plans on stealing the midterms, absolutely. If he doesn't steal it, he'll just completely deny it, and it'll go to the courts over and over and over and over. It try to wear us down. But it'll be an overwhelming vote. I don't know how he can deny it, because it's going to be like, how's he going to deny that 70% or more of people are going to vote against him, against his party in the midterms? But he'll try. He will try. Okay, point being, why I'm here. I've said I've battled with myself, like so many people, like, I don't know, how did he win? How did people vote for him? Blah, blah, blah. In 2016, how did people vote for him? I can't believe it. This is not America. And then one day I was like in my kitchen, and I was like, but it is. This is America. This is basically, America is 45. He represented everything that America is, as the raping, thieving, racist, horrible, violent, slave driving, murderous, Christopher Columbus people that came here and took the country. We're on stolen land. We should all be kicked off. That is America. And really, we've all been living on the amended version of America, the dream, the evolution of what could be, what, we hope it to be, like JFK creating the new era, civil rights, rights for equal rights, all these things. Lincoln, we fought wars for this. We fought wars to claim independence and have independence and freedom. The Stars and Stripes, freedom, against tyranny. But really, America is 45. And that's why so many people resonated and still resonate with him, and think that that's why they look at the flag and they look at everything that's, that we know as America, and they go, well, that's America. That's what they've been taught. That is because they bought the whole thing of Christopher Columbus, and that we assert our dominance, and that's how you win. And we went to the football games and we said the most brutal team wins, the one who gets the ball all the time, and the biggest, strongest, brutal, the guys that could tackle the other guy to the ground and beat him into the dirt. That's America. That's winners. That's what we are. The richest, the ones with the biggest towers, the ones with all the money, the ones with the yachts, the ones who own everything. That's America. But then a lot of people like me always didn't want it to be America. I would look at England, or I would look at France or other countries, and I would say, well, they do this much better. They're kinder, they're gentler, they're more, literary, they're smarter. France, they have more science, more, healthcare. Canada's like sort of a mild version of us, and they're a mixture of all these different countries, and beautiful, and they respect their land and nature, but those are other countries. It was like a hope that we could be like that, but the truth is, we've always been like 45. Really. And that's what people were raised on here in America. The criminal, rapist, slave driving, racist, thieving, win at all costs, big yacht, road rage, got to get there first, got to be bigger, better, tanner, richer, force my way to the top. That's America. Monopoly, that's America. So that is 45. That's the truth. But to me, I feel like America should be not like that. That's the thieves that came here and stole what really this country is, which was the Native American indigenous people and the Mexican, because we're part of Mexico's part of North America, that more to the earth and to, intuition, and maybe more feminine and more cultural art, ancestry, and hoping that we could be better, that we could evolve, that this is a place to evolve, because it is such a beautiful country. And we became, through all the different cultures coming here. I mean, who built this land? Really, the slaves are the ones who built it. Anyone who's been considered a slave or indentured servant, including Italians, Germans, Irish, lots of Irish people, Chinese. Someone was naming a list off after I was talking about that, and I was like, yeah, all. Anyone basically who has any melanin in their skin and came from an impoverished country at some point. We are like we built this country. The rich 45s who own the country, they own it, like through monopolization and what do you call it, where they colonization, colonialism. They own the country, but who built this country? It was all the immigrants. And we thought that meant that we owned the country, that we were America. And we were all evolving together, that all that effort meant we were this fabric of the country, and we were evolving together, making a better place, making the perfect world that was the combination of all the countries, and creating this great place. But really, who was owning it while we did all that work? Well, we worked. And I didn't mean to forget Africa, because obviously that was like the most dominant person, cultural, who built this country. It was the African American slaves. But there's all of us together, but yes, they were obviously the most abused, and still are. But who owns the country? And so people think that means that's America, but to me that's not. It's really who put their hands in the dirt it's not people like 45. I don't know. I just wanted to say that, 45 is really the Christopher Columbus America. So people think, no wonder people think that he is America, because that is like, also, and I'll end it on this, but really we built America, the rest of us built, and America is a dream, America is an idea, and America is a hope. And I don't believe that dream is dead, but he sure has hijacked it. And like I said, people think that the richest person wins. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should go back to how this country really started, which was with the indigenous people. And I really would like us to get back to that. Anyway, I was going to say, if I can remember it now. Okay, the stupid ballroom thing. Okay, like everybody's got to have a ballroom. God, look at all the tornadoes. I was joking the other day. I was like, here comes a tornado. I better get to my ballroom. Everybody's got to have a ballroom now. It's just so stupid. Never in my life would I've ever thought that we would equate ballrooms with security. It's like some stupid thing. But really, it's a grift. He just wants the money. But I was going to say, do you know who else wanted a ballroom, or who did have a ballroom? Biff from Back to the Future 2. Biff had a ballroom. And I looked that up, and it showed that character was indeed based off of Trump. I hate saying his name. I hate saying his name. Hate it. And he's not president. Never. He's a usurper. But yeah, Biff, the bully. But that character was based off of 45, so you should watch that movie. And I'm going to watch it because what was Biff's ultimate downfall? How did it end? Because surely there's an ending. Surely there's got to be an ending somewhere along this line, and not divine. Okay, talk about that. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, so Jimmy Kimmel almost like psychically said something before the event, I guess. I thought it was after, but before the event. And he was said like, and Melania had the glow of a widow. He didn't mean that as like, oh yeah, let's unalive 45. No, he was saying that 45 is older than her and that he would pass away before her. But it almost was like psychic, in my opinion. Like Jimmy Kimmel was like the foreshadowing of the event. And there was a couple of those. So you're going to get mad at him and try to kick him off TV because he had psychic insight? That's really what it was. Well, how about the fact that Carolyn Levitt was saying shots fired? There's going to be shots fired. So should she be fired too? Should she lose her job even after maternity leave? Should she lose it because she premeditated an event? She psychically premeditated an event. But if you're going to talk about violent talk, how about the fact that 45 had a picture of himself with a baseball bat aimed at Alvin Bragg, a picture of Joe Biden on someone's truck with bullet holes in his head, and Trump posted that he boasted about how he's going to kill all of us 2 weeks ago. We all thought we were going to die. How about he gets fired for that? They had better not fire Jimmy Kimmel. I finally, because Disney let go and allowed Kimmel to stay, and ABC allowed him to stay. I was like, okay, I waited a while, then I finally got Disney back. But I swear to God, if they get rid of Jimmy Kimmel because he's premeditated psychically something that was going to happen in an event, and they fire him for that after all the horrible, violent stuff that 45 has said and posted and suggested, including Jan 6, if they fire Jimmy Kimmel, I'm done with Disney and ABC for life. And all the major networks. I will never support Disney or ABC ever again. I'm a Taurus. I'll never forgive, ever. So they'd better not fire him. And you guys better join me in this. Drop Disney or ABC, and both, and all of them, instantly, and never come back. They're dead to me if they do that. Because we have to have freedom of speech in this country. We've already been through this with the McCarthyism. And for years we repented, said, oh, that was horrible. That wasn't America. That was how did that happen? We must have freedom of speech. Even if we don't like it, we must have it. Do not allow one temporary person in history to destroy our freedom of speech and our constitutional rights. Do not allow Biff from Back to the Future to destroy this country. Anyway, I'll shut up. You guys have a great night. Talk to you later. Bye.